Man on a porch singing baritone. Tan line leads to that gentle place between a collarbone and a stone cold fate. Dockhand boys all say goodbye to the women that they swear.
It's 2025, a fresh new season with fresh new faces. A 7-team playoff, loser punishments on the board, and our highest payout ever.
And he throws in the end zone. Caught for a touchdown.
He snuck a force to the shore and drank a bottom bone.
Are we back? We here, ladies and gentlemen. We back with another episode of, yes sir, another episode of the Sicker Pizza Crew weekly fantasy football show. I'm your host, Tyreek, aka Ty Life, and we are on a heater right now, ladies and gentlemen. Just want to point that out there. Ooh. And I am joined with the best commissioner in the land, young Corey Edge. What is poppin', Corey? And happy early Thanksgiving to you and to everyone that celebrates, man.
Yeah, man. Just definitely thankful this week. Happy to be back on the show with you, Ty. A lot of drama last week in the group chat that we probably should open up the show with and get into. So I definitely want to start there. But just fantastic week for me. Definitely wanted to have my dear colleague owner Daniel on the show this week, but no text back. He's ghosting in the group message, but texting in other messages. He said there was a rumored show last week that was going to drop by him.
I didn't see that.
Nothing ended up happening. And some more drama about that, Ty, is that like he was saying he got caught up with work, but then he was sending me Snapchats of him at dinner. So I was like, what is this? I don't know. A lot of drama last week. I don't know. Should we get into the group message? I mean,
let's get into the group message, man. Let's start this off right.
So last show, real quick though, last show and the reel dropped. We're getting some views on the reel. I'm liking it. I actually had a buddy text me from TikTok as well. That saw it. So good traction on the reel, but the reel was about glazing your homies and kind of lifting your brothers up. But the group chat last week was definitely very negative. There was some personal, passionate feelings coming out. It felt like.
Agreed. Like,
and a lot of the drama was centered around you in a trade. So I'll let you take it away here.
I just need to understand. Like, I just want to take everyone back a few weeks before. Okay, my team currently sits at 5-7. All right, 5-7. But 3 weeks ago we were 2-7. Corey, we were in the bottom two teams on the standings wise. I don't know what it was like on the power rankings at the time, but I probably was pretty low. I was also very low in the standings. All right, we're a 2-7 ball club. I wanted to get some juice popping, all right? And who better to bring juice to the team than young Action Jackson Dart, okay? So I sent out a feeler to Zach, who already wants to make some moves, okay? He needs some more depth at the running back position. I offered Zach 3 separate trades, okay? And he chose the third final trade, all right? And in the other trades, Zach, here we go. Me and Tyra, prime time. We sell clicks and views. We glaze our bros and apparently making Thank you, Zach. You know what, Zach? Come on, bro. Let me finish this point. Me and Zach were engaged in trade. And let me remind you that it is frowned upon. It is actually against the league bylaw to collude and not do things out in the open. We actually looked at what the definition of collusion was. It is to do sneaky acts behind someone's back, on purpose so no one sees. On the show and in the group chat, I said, Zach, listen, I want Dart everywhere. I had the receipts. I even sent screenshots of the trades I proposed to Zach. But as soon as a 2-7 team gets a backup quarterback, and it was Zach's third quarterback on the roster, because people forget he had Joey Burrow already. He had Drake May, and Jackson Dart wasn't playing a lick. And I was like, I need a quarterback. Let me give you RJ Harvey, who at the time was primed, a rookie running back, primed to get the lead role should something happen to J.K. Dobbins, injury history, and lo and behold, J.K. Dobbins on IR, and now RJ Harvey is at RB1. And I was told that was collusion. Not by Zach, by the way. Not by Zach, who's in first place right now, getting a running back at depth. Not by Zach, by a 2-7 team.
Yeah.
Can someone needs to understand, like, why was all that and all that and chat, all that on top of the fact that we had one of the main league members that was accusing me of colluding actually colluding. Actually colluding.
Sending cash offer.
Caught red-handed colluding. But the focus was on me for doing something out in the open. It's like I've never seen that before. I mean, Commissioner, I'd love for you to comment on what your thoughts were on the actions that were taken against me.
We got to cover what happened first, which was the cash offer, which and derogatory words to another owner is also kind
That's
of
a bannable offense. Loss of draft picks.
He did get banned, our first ban ever from the group chat. It was only maybe 15, 30 minutes. We're starting there to maybe see. I do think that is where my power lies, is the group chat, being able to kick people out of that group chat because people love the group chat, to be honest. I wish we could put more of that into the show. But
agreed.
Yeah, that was crazy. And then coming back and stirring up the drama, I'll release it on the show. It wasn't anonymous. It was a formal complaint from Danny. So he was the first guy that sent in a formal complaint. We did have people in the chat last week talking about the collusion. So that's why I brought it up. But I think, Ty, I do think that you guys got caught up in a little bit of the passion of arguing back and forth, where the context that I put was all you needed to say. At the time, Ty, RJ was coming off 2 20-point games. And Zach did not have a running back too, because Travion Henderson was getting blue balled by Vrabel.
Understandable.
So like the context in that alone to me makes the trade fair, and that's how I've always viewed it. But then again, they voted to relinquish my powers, so
which makes exactly so. Like the fact, like they're going to complain about something they already voted for. Like, I'm not understanding.
Will was one of the main guys that was pushing and suggested the rule change for the immediate trade processing, which that never happens in any sport. Why? Maybe I'm taking fantasy too seriously, but why in fantasy do you get to process trades like instantly? Got to go through review. Got to go through transactions. There's things being interchanged to get these players across teams. So,
and it's crazy because, like, again, Corey, they voted on this. You're only beholden to the league at play. You're beholden to the owners. Roger Goodell could do a lot of things, but he chooses to listen to the owners. It's a league. It's not a dictatorship. So y'all voted for this, and y'all gonna complain when y'all don't. The worst part of it is, guys, I was 2-7 at the time of the trade, and they said I was the one that was colluding, and look what
that was ridiculous.
I was the one that was colluding. Okay,
but I think, Ty, if we talk too much longer, we may lose Danny out of this. So can we go to the scoreboard and make sure we bring up my game while he's on the stream?
Let's do it. You know, you're right. My bad. It's all
back and forth, pondering. I don't know. I think people are starting to stir up some drama to try and cause some. I don't know. It's good for league engagement. I'll say that much. So, I was eating it all up with popcorn and butter and everything. But
as
yeah, I mean, whoo-wee.
So let's talk about it. We had, and let's remind people that joined in last week. I did say Corey was going to win, despite Josh Jacobs being shaky. All right, despite him being a game time decision going with Emmanuel Wilson, I said, you know what, Corey, you caught Danny on a bad week. You got it, bro. That's all you.
Dude, as soon as you texted me in that first play, Wandale to open up the the week, I was like,
come on,
this week's over. He's cooked. I was a little worried. I was watching the Patriots defense. They actually ended up with a little less points than they were projected. They had probably 16 or 17 at one point, and then the Bengals kind of scored some points late. So I was getting a little worried then, but no, Wandale let it off like fine and dandy right there. But it was definitely stressful without Josh Jacobs, and definitely realized that Danny didn't have a few of his players. But this is a huge win. A lot of guys had to ask for some guys to step up here on an off week without Bo. I know Bo's not the best QB, but he gets points, and just not having many alternative options. Judy didn't play like I thought he would with Shadur. That game was entertaining to watch, but yeah, not much connection there, and I don't know how I feel about the Browns in general. But yeah, I don't know. This shows the weakness in Danny's teams. I think his wide receiver position is terrible. And if his tight ends don't get 2 touchdowns a game, then I think he's beatable. So I will get into this a little bit later on in the show, but he has got the toughest end to the schedule out of any team in the league. He plays Adam next, and then Butker's Cooks. So he's going up against our 1 or 2 seeds. So Danny luckily has that playoff spot clinched, but he's in a spot where he could end up being one of the lower seeds if this losing skid continues. So I tried to kick it off here after he bounced back after losing to Eric, but no, we'll see what happens next week. But I'm happy with performance. Obviously was scared about CMC. They started off giving him the ball.
He was hot. He was hot.
Every play, man. And all passes too. So he was getting double the points. So yeah, definitely worried a little bit, but yeah, it's belt to ass here when I play Danny. So
I mean, Danny, I know you said everything fell his way. I don't know, maybe it was a little bit of that fantasy football karma from all the hate that was being thrown in the group chat last week. You got to think about that stuff. You got to think, the more negative you are, the less things go your way. I mean, look at Callum, negative Nancy over there. He got 1 win on the season. So I mean, come on, let's talk about. I mean, Jordan Addison, a donut. I thought 9 was coming out last week. 9 was 0, just like Jordan Addison. I mean, outside of CMC and Jalen Hurts, he didn't get much production from Danny's team. I mean, he didn't. Charbonnet, he didn't merchant. I don't know if he merchant anything, but I know I did see KG3 was doing his thing, so I know Eric was happy about that. Running back merchant. All right, Zach.
I'm going to have to find a replacement. This is the last week that I can play Rachaad White. I mean, he's done. After what I've seen just the past 3 or 4 weeks, he doesn't have the explosiveness that Sean Tucker has, and I think Bucky will be coming back. So that'll be interesting for me to watch going forward. But, yeah, overall, so happy. Wouldn't want to beat any other opponent in the league. So he got me in, I think, the first week of the season, and I knew my team was just building, and that we had a little bit more toughness, and that showed out. Jacoby Brissett, loved playing him. He only had about 9 points before the fourth quarter, and they ended up going to overtime. So got kind of lucky there. But, yeah, he's got a sorry-ass team, and I don't think he's going to be making a deep playoff run this year.
No. Uh-oh, I know Danny would love to be on here to defend himself, but rest in peace, Danny.
Well, he was asked, but
he couldn't make it happen. But we understand things come first, but your team did not come first this week. Real quick before I get into the next game, my boy Dion in the chat went through 45 minutes or 45 seconds worth of ads to let you know that Ravens are winning the Super Bowl. They're still projected, or they're the odds-on favorite to win the division. Let's see if it happens.
I don't know.
We don't know yet, but that whole division is not looking too crazy. I guess we'll see tomorrow. They play Joe Burrow coming back on Thanksgiving, the nightcap game of a nice day of turkey and other stuffings and whatnot. So we'll see. We'll see the Ravens if they do their thing. They have not looked great. Still a chance, though. Let's go on to another team. I think it's only right we get into this one. I just need to let everyone know. Everyone's on notice. Everyone's on notice right now. This team is hot. Outside of Zach's team, this is the hottest team in the league. The Three Darts, formerly known as Kyler's Best Man McBride. And hey, for all you colluders out there, I've had Jackson Dart for one of the last 3 weeks, and we're 3-0. So I just need to know. I just need to understand what the collusion's for. Because my first round pick, my GM pick, was Mr. Jahmyr Gibbs, a 55 burger on Skateboard P's neck. Okay? And I told Skateboard P he needs to lock in. He texted me before the game. It's gonna be a close game at the 1 o'clock window. It's gonna be close. It'll be a close game. No. After Jahmyr had that first one, I was like, all right, sit back, boys, and relax. We got this one in the bag, in the Duffy. Not a big game from DeAndre Swift. Hunter Henry scared me in the early window. Hunter Henry was doing his thing, but after that tailored off, I knew Skateboard P didn't have a chance. All right, I have a tough next 2 weeks. The Giants are on bye week, so I may not even have Jackson Dart for more than 2 weeks leading into the playoffs. So I hope the juice he has on the bench will benefit me like Scat has benefited Eric. But we're 2-0. Also, Darnell Mooney pick. People were questioning Darnell Mooney starting him. So go to touchdown.
Definitely.
All right.
Respect, man.
But yeah, I'd love Romadunze to do more. He hasn't been doing much since I got him. And of course, T. Higgins got hurt. But that's why we have Jalen Waddle back there. I think we're trying to make a run. We just got things. We have things to fall into place. We have a tough matchup this week against Zach, so it's very tough. But hopefully, with him clinching a spot in the playoffs, his players can rest a little bit. We can make a little run. What are your thoughts, Corey?
Yeah, I mean, I'll go with Paul's team. Definitely first. Definitely saw a lot more fight out of him this week. And to be honest with you, like you said, not just Hunter Henry, but I think Michael Pittman had an early touchdown in the first quarter. And so I thought maybe, he had a chance here. He was getting a lot of touchdowns, which he normally does not have on his team. I think Kareem Hunt scored a touchdown in that 1 o'clock slate
He was going to
as
too.
well.
100 yards too.
So yeah, he had a good defensive performance. It's just it really boils down to the fact that his I don't know if it's his top 3 picks or top 3 out of 4 were Justin Jefferson not having a great season, very down this year.
Nope.
His next was again probably Chuba Hubbard and then Brian Thomas Jr. All having really down years. So it was definitely rough. Just a rough kind of unlucky draft. He picked what would have looked like good names on paper at the beginning of the season, but just not performing. And we'll see later on in the rankings. But this team is about as down as you can get.
5 straight losses for Skateboard P. CD's nuts.
It's crazy. It's crazy. He started off the season really hot,
very hot, and he was on fraud alert, and he's now 11th. He is by definition in the Sacco Bowl, in the punishment game now. And if things start to play out like they do, if he doesn't bounce back, he could very well be losing to Callum in that.
Callum's putting up fight, man. I saw this week, and we'll get into it. But real quick, Ty, on your team, Jahmyr Gibbs, insane, man. That game was insane to watch. Fun to watch any Giants game because they all seem to go down to the wire. But
Jameis, Electric Factory.
Flying down the field, man. I've just never seen a guy cut so quickly and get out of cuts. And I was watching a little bit. Breece Hall had some pretty good runs. It honestly looks like he had a low scoring total for the game that I watched. It seemed like he had some good 20-yard runs. And I don't know. There is going to be question marks around the wide receivers for you.
Yeah,
they're all kind of hit or miss, especially if Joe's. I mean, we'll see with Joe Burrow back. That could change some things. But T. Higgins been your solid guy all year, surprisingly. So yeah. I mean, this is a really great win and our highest points of the week. So got the money, and Kenneth Gainwell again on the bench. He's getting a lot of catches, so he's solid flex option if you ever need him. So yeah, great performance, and I cannot wait to see the next 2 weeks because it's going down to the wire, man. You got to keep up the win streak.
We have to win out, and there's a lot that has to go my way. Let's get into another matchup that needed to go my way. And before I get into it, we have a returning chatter, but I think it's a new chatter. Hey guys, new to the chat and love that banter. I'm in a 12-man league and was offered CMC for James Cook and Jamar Chase. Can you tell Danny how insulting that trade request is?
Danny, I don't even know if you're still in the chat, but just stop it. Just stop it.
So now I did last week. Cam or a few weeks ago, Cam had a tough week against me, and I know his team was trying to bounce back, and they did. He got a very convincing win against Strejan, who is teetering a little bit. He's still in 4th place, but he's teetering a little bit. Not a big his team has not been performing. His 2 bell cows now they've scored a touchdown. Baker Mayfield, we'll see if he plays this week.
He's looking bad, man, and he's injured, no?
I think he's hurt. I don't know if he's playing this week or not, but he's definitely hurt. I mean, it was a bad week for not to have Ledidi or Marvin Harrison Jr., but this team is reeling. I don't know if I think he still makes the playoffs, but it's going to be tough to maintain for Strejan.
I need to look at the schedule for him too, because I would love to see what
I play him in the last week. I play him on the last week of the season. Huge game.
I wonder who he plays next. So I mean, let's see. He plays Eric, which is another huge game. So,
Oh,
and that's good for you either way,
yeah,
honestly.
honestly, yes.
So I mean, yeah, this is definitely not a time that you want to see your team losing.
No,
Um, and not scoring. Did he score? Yeah,
no,
didn't score 100 points.
nope.
It's bad, especially when he. I mean, Ladidi lad
Didi, yeah, come on, man.
maybe makes a big difference here, but I don't know if that's going to get it. Camden's
No.
team is what we need to talk
Oh
about
yeah,
here.
you're right.
The
Matthew
Rams
Stafford.
are phenomenal,
Yeah.
and Devontae Adams is getting consistent touchdowns. I've
Yes.
never been more wrong about a player before the beginning of the season. Didn't think he would be that much, but I would love to see his rank. Yeah, I mean he's sixth ranked wide receiver in fantasy this season. Um, T Mac is consistently playing pretty well, getting a lot of targets. And his running backs, man, they're
They're starting to
just
come
as strong
alive.
as anybody else in the league, man. Um, Definitely a little bit more inconsistent or honestly, both of them have been pretty inconsistent this season. But around the end zone, I just like my guys, I would probably take these two just as much over anybody else in the league. Um, yeah, I don't really know what else to say. He's got DJ Moore on the bench.
Mhm.
That's the problem, though, is like kind of like you're dealing with is it's either a Dunes or DJ,
Yeah.
one game or the other. It's never both of them at the same time. It's been really weird. And kind of like the Eagles with Devontae Smith and AJ Brown a little bit. So, but he's got a solid team and definitely looks like it's kind of flip flopping after last week when he had dropped two straight and Tree was a little bit higher up. That now these teams are pretty level, and obviously he beat the snot out of them this week. And yeah, I mean it made the playoff implications even tighter. We'll get into the standings. I think it's
Shoot.
worth bringing up.
Yeah.
Or we can do that maybe after the power rankings. But yeah, it's real tight. I think we got 3 or 4 teams tied at 5-7, and 2 teams tied at 6-6, and 2 teams tied at 7-4. It's so tight for that last few playoff spots. Yeah, props to Camden's team here. It was a much better week than I would have anticipated. I think I said earlier on in the show, I don't think this team has the power to score above like 130 or 140, and he's done it twice since. So taking the bulletin board material and fighting back for sure.
Cam Dong solidifying himself with that last playoff spot. Let's go to another person trying to vie for a playoff spot who started off slow but has gotten hot but lost a tough one to young Butker's Cook. Eric put up a great fight. Great fight by Eric, but that Josh Allen game kind of killed him on Thursday night. I know that was tough because we all know if Josh Allen played like we thought Josh Allen would play, I think Eric wins this matchup. And that would be huge playoff implications right there. But
Josh has just been so up and down all season. It's been wild.
I don't know what it is. And then of course you get Keon Coleman. They just signed Brandon Cooks because I don't think Keon Coleman is making. It's looking like his career with the Bills might be in jeopardy. But George Pickens, huge day, and he's been a bright spot for I think all across fantasy for everyone. George Pickens, we all knew he's talented, but we didn't know how he would fit with that Cowboys offense. It didn't look too hot early on, but he's looking like one of the stronger receivers as we get into these playoffs that are gonna win you some matchups. But tough game for Eric. James Cook obviously had a solid game, and it wasn't like Zach had crazy performances, but everyone did their job. Michael Wilson had a great performance.
Big play,
yeah.
Big play by Michael Wilson. So
sure.
yeah, and he's Zach. I mean, the one thing to say about Zach is he's been having to deal with his run. He would be so much better if he had Bucky all season. Like it's been crazy that he's not only dominating everybody, but he hasn't even gotten Bucky back yet.
Sheesh.
It'll be interesting to see how that goes. Yeah, or Joe. I mean, Drake's been one of the better QBs in the league just from like consistent, solid numbers, right?
Yeah.
He's number 2 actually in fantasy QB ranking. So yeah.
That's funny. That's funny. Hey, that's crazy. He has a number 2 quarterback in fantasy. All right. So he gave up a rookie quarterback. All right.
Danny's still in the chat, so hopefully he's hearing that. But yeah, he's made the best trades all season too. So honestly, there's not much to say. He's made good trades, in my opinion. throughout the board. Maybe that's why he was more willing to give up Jackson Dart. And is because like he's gotten better players and has a deep roster and doesn't need a QB on the roster, right? Like he can pick up a QB. He has Joe Burrow in the IR slot. So maybe it's not a good idea to carry 3 QBs on your roster.
You would think, but
at the time,
I
Jackson Dart is great, but a lot of people were still gay for May. And a lot of
Mhm.
people today are still gay for May. And he's number 2 in the MVP rankings. So I just don't really know. This team is solid from top to bottom. It's been crazy. I don't even think that the first pick in the fantasy draft was snake draft is the best position to be in. I think it's honestly one of the harder spots to draft from.
Agreed.
In my opinion. So it's been a surprise to see him take a stranglehold on the league this year, and kind of everything fall his way except for Bucky. And having to deal without Jamar, still putting the beat down on Eric. I called it before this week. I just didn't like the matchups on Eric's side. It was closer than I anticipated, but yeah, just tough. Eric seems to have to be fighting to find a guy every week on the waiver wires to actually fit in his lineup, which is tough because his lineup has been so thin and depleted with injuries. So, yeah, definitely fighting for playoffs here. Helps me out. I was definitely cheering for Zach. So,
I feel that. And Zach has now solidified himself as the number 1 team in the league for now, alone at 9-3, and also clinched a playoff spot. Let's go to another one before we get into the closest game of the week. Let's go into a battle of the bottom 2, or going to the week the bottom 2. My Puki Nacua versus Callum. Again, it's just tough to watch this Callum team every week. Even though you pick up guy, you get Emmanuel Wilson.
Dude,
Pick up. You get him. Yeah. You get DK Metcalf actually scoring a touchdown this week, and you still can't eclipse 100 points. It's just tough for Callum. It's tough. I mean, Jacob had to win this game. He had the bye week. AJ Brown showed up. Dak Prescott showed up. Jawan Jennings, even though he got punched in the nuts, showed up. I don't know, man. Not much here, but what are your thoughts, Corey? I know Callum is not fighting for much right now. He's already been eliminated from playoff contention, but he has to gear up to try not to be at the bottom of that.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't want the punishment. I can tell you that much. And I mean, as bad as I say this, his team is better than it was at the beginning of the season. So he's made improvement. I still don't understand why he's not starting Kyle Monangai. I think he's the better running back option over Tyler Algier. But then again, you may get lucky with Tyler Algier getting some red zone carries when they want to rest Bijan. But yeah, like the great vibe shift, like the 3 darts, Pookie is one of the hotter teams in the league. He's been scoring a lot of points at the end of the season, and he's getting a lot of wins stacked up. He beat me last week and rattled off another 120-point performance. So really solid here. AJ Brown getting a lot more involved in the offense. Puka is probably one of the best receivers in the league at this point. Tough that he's playing Devin Singletary. I didn't really realize that he had that big of running back problems, but he does have some options on the bench with Vidal and Troy Franklin stored down there. Dude, I mean, he's got some solid players on the bench. I think we should look out as this may be one of your biggest competitions going into the playoff hunt. As surprising as it is, I think the teams that are on the bottom right now are showing a lot more strength than those teams that were up. So
that's why it's crucial right now. Yeah, it's crucial.
That's another one. Like, so he's playing Will next week. So that's going to be that's another 2 5-7 teams, and then he goes and plays Camden after that.
Oh, so it's gonna be close, man.
Will plays me that last week, and I play Callum next week. We'll get into next week, but that final week, I mean, Danny's playing Zach, Paul's playing Eric, so it's gonna be real tight. The only one that has Callum and Adam are playing, so that's all last week. But yeah,
no, sure. And Jacob squeaks out a win. He keeps his playoff hopes alive and well. Before we get into the last game, which I was very happy about the outcome and very surprised, honestly. I thought it was going to be tougher. Young Danny, look, I know you're in the chat talking about get me on right now. Corey asked you, okay? And if there's anything
Yeah.
like and you're just, it's following the same trend as with the rules, with the collusion. Look, if Corey asked you, answer how you feel when he first asked you. We don't want to hear this. We don't want to hear this whining after the fact. We're not going to get a room. We're on stream. And yeah, rest your starters next week, Danny. Please. They need it. All right? They need the rest. You better be ready for the playoffs because don't let me make the playoffs. All right? Don't let Jackson Dart in the playoffs. Okay? That's all I'm saying. Anyways, let's go into the unofficial. This was the America's game of the week. This wasn't prime time. It was the 425 slot on Fox, okay? Adam squeaked out a much-needed victory against Will, and I know Will needed this win to better his playoff odds, but he lost by 2 points, and it was because Brock Purdy could not get the job done. If Brock Purdy throws one less interception, Will wins this game.
Yeah,
it's just
what it boils down to, and I think Will's been a little bit stingy. I'm just going to go out and say it. I think he's been a little bit stingy with his untradables. I get Rashee Rice is one of the hottest receivers, and I get CeeDee Lamb is a good receiver, but he's kind of coined them as untradeable all season, and he's been trying to kind of get big players in return. And that's not going to happen unless you're willing to give up like 3 players. This guy tried to trade me JMO last week. He ended up getting a stinker, and JMO was in the trade to get Saquon. So, like, very glad I didn't do that. I think that's been part of the problem this year is that he's kind of had some untradables, and he's only been willing to trade like Stephon Diggs, and no one's going to give you anybody good back in return for Stephon Diggs. In my opinion, Zach won that trade. I guess Travis Kelce is a decent tight end, and he's had a good season. So, yeah, I mean, that's crazy. You could call that collusion, in my opinion. But, yeah, Adam's team has been phenomenal all season. If Lamar – why I didn't say I thought the Ravens were Super Bowl champs yet or getting in that terminology is because Lamar's just not looked like a Super Bowl champion per se. And he's had questions. Look, if my QB – Cam Newton's getting criticized. I've been through that. This guy needs to get criticized the same. I get that he plays a little bit safer and plays more in the pocket, doesn't throw as many interceptions as maybe Cam does, but same thing happens. I mean, Lamar's never made it to a Super Bowl. So he has playoff issues. I get last year it gets brought up all the time that the issue was Mark Andrews. He did play a good game, but still, you got to do that 3 or 4 times in a row. So I'm not counting on the Ravens. If anything, their defense would win them the Super Bowl, and I don't think their defense is even that solid this year too. So
a lot of injuries.
Yeah, I mean, little side tangent on Adam's team here. He's definitely, if not second, he's third best in the league. His receivers are crazy.
Oh my gosh.
But it's so hit or miss. So, like, when you get into the playoffs, we're not playing two matchups for a week in our playoffs. We have too many teams. It's 1 week playoff round. So
win or go home.
That's the one thing that I say about this team is that maybe some teams that don't score as many points on a total basis, but more consistently are scoring points, more safer points is what I say, could take this team down. It may be early for me to say that. But yeah, I think especially if Drake London's not healthy, doesn't get back, this team has an ability to be beat just because of the inconsistency. The only player that has not been inconsistent is JSN. He's been phenomenal all season. You can bank on him scoring 30 points about every time you play Adam. So that's tough. That's the one you got to really worry about. So
the number 1 receiver in the league, and Adam has him. He is currently.
But Sam Darnold shows he can have a really bad game too, and you never know when that can come up. So it's not the most consistent and that's why he has 4 losses this year. I don't see 4 losses from this team on paper, to be honest with you. I know I've kind of had my doubts about this team all season. He is the ultimate fantasy grinder, so you got to trust him. But this team definitely does not seem as consistent and could lead into some playoff issues.
You're not wrong there, young Corey, but Adam has clinched his playoff spot. He can rest easy now with the next 2 weeks. Will, it's going to be tough to fight. This might be the closest playoff race we've had in this league's
Dude.
history.
It might. The number 1 seed gets a bye, so there is still something to play for
Yes.
for those top 3 teams that have already clinched. So we'll see. We'll see how it unfolds. And I know Zach's got some tough foes coming up, in Danny and you. So it's wide open, man. It's not just the 6, 7 spots that are being fought for. It's the 1, 2, 3 spots as well, which make a big difference. So.
All right. Those were.
You want to hit the power rankings?
Let's hit the power rankings, man. Let me just get this chat. Actually, it doesn't matter right now. Let's have these power rankings popping. Quick side note, y'all. The Knicks are beating the Hornets 89-66. Jalen Brunson with 10 straight points. Okay.
89-66. Jeez. Sheesh. That's tough.
All right. So let's go on to our power rankings. Let me pull those up. Zach, you shut up. Melo threw the ball off his.
I did see that. I saw that clip.
Dude, I
Was
can't.
That one tonight?
Yeah, it's tonight. It started at 7. I can't watch the game, Zach, because it's blacked out, and NBA League Pass sucks. Why do I even pay for League Pass if I can't watch the Knicks play the Hornets? It's so stupid. Anyways, God, so dumb. Like, it's just so dumb. I would rather just pay like $1,000 once a year and have everything. Like, why is that such an issue? I hate doing this. I hate it. Anyways, let's get into it. This isn't a basketball show. This is a football show. All right.
Can't make it a basketball show at the end of the season, though.
Oh, we will. I've been thinking about that more and more, young Corey. All right. The commissioner's power rankings, Corey.
There wasn't enough between the top 3 to have any change. So we'll start there. Our Week 13 commissioner's power rankings. There was a lot of change in the bottom 5, 4, and below, but top 3 stayed the same. Didn't move Danny last week after a win. Not going to move him after this week after a loss when I gave him belt to ass. So he's staying at 3, and there wasn't a real big change from Adam and Zach either. So Zach's definitely still the solid team and took it by the win column as well in the standings on ESPN. So there's our 1, 2, 3. After that, hottest team in the league, we go Kyler at 4. Yes, he is 5-7, but again, like I said, that does not mean because he's 5-7 that his spot is any less safe than yours. A lot of things can happen in this league in just from vibes or points and wins alone. He's got our 4 spot this week. I moved back up from the 7 spot to the 5 slot. Big win against one of the better teams in the league. Yes, I may not have the most points for, but the reason I'm 5 is because I've taken out Adam. I've taken out Kenny. I've taken out maybe Zach. I think I might have lost to Zach, so not sure there, but still got a solid record. Took out Shree.
Competing. You're competing, Corey.
So taking out those big guys that are going to be in the playoffs. So that's the reason I put myself at 5. Camden, right below me in the win column, but had a great week last week. Bounced back after dropping real low in the power rankings. He's at 6. Like I said, Pookie, another one of the hottest teams. Maybe a little bit worse of a record, but still really hot. So beat me last week, so he deserves to be 7. Real big drop at 8. Shree did not like his performance last week, Ty, so we dropped him down to the 8 spot. Dang. He's 7-4 at the 8 spot, looking outside of the playoffs and the power rankings, definitely not in the standings on ESPN, but a lot of question marks around this team. Eric had to take a drop as well, played a really tough opponent last week, but still I think when you put it on paper between you and Jacob specifically is where I'm comparing him to. He was a little bit lower in talent-wise, so he dropped. Okay, thank you, Zach, 104 to 100. So tough game for me, but yeah, you edged it out there. Still solid against one of the best team in the league. Will hasn't changed. Had a decent week last week, still 10. We did have a shift. And the shift in the 11 and 12 spot is strictly due to the betting plays into a factor now into the commissioner's power rankings. Panda Express week after week is doing a lot of transactions and moves in the league, as well as getting a little bit better at the betting. Not a worse fantasy team right now from top to bottom than CD's Nuts. Not a worse fantasy better than CD's Nuts. He's 8%. We'll get into that in our next session or next segment, but he deserves the 12th spot. That's our commissioner's power rankings. To the betting.
Shout out, Corey. Shout out, Corey. Let's get into the bets. Hey, teams that move down a lot, you've been put on notice. Teams that are moving up, keep it up as we get into these playoffs. All right. Let's move on to
trying to provide bulletin board material, but for some teams it's not working.
Need to tune into the podcast. And speaking of which, if you are tuned in and you aren't followed, you aren't subbed, go ahead and hit that follow button. If you're on Twitch, go ahead and subscribe and like the stream up if you're on YouTube. Also, if you're on Twitch and you got Amazon Prime, be a pal in this good Thanksgiving. If you're not using your Prime subscription, go ahead and gift us a Prime subscription. Go ahead and subscribe with Prime for free. It would mean a lot to us, and we would appreciate your thanks on this Thanksgiving holiday. Let's go on to the weekly bets. Boop, boop, boop.
Ty,
what's up?
I got a darn stress ball in my hand because that's how I feel about looking at this workbook, dude. And it starts with me. I mean, two misses in a week in a row for me is not good. Like it's on me too. So
it's tough for a lot of us. It's tough for all of us.
Not putting it on anybody specifically, but 2 right and then 3 right back to back is horrible, man. And the percentages, there's only 1 green, and green is 60% or above. So we do have 3 yellows right there fighting for that green status, and that's what I kind of consider good at this league. But it's awful right now.
Look, to be honest, okay, if we're going to be honest here, I can make a case. I know T. Higgins died. No, he didn't die. I know T. Higgins got pushed out, got knocked out of the game in 4th quarter. But I truly believe they were targeting him. He was targeted on that ball. I truly believe if he was not knocked out that game, I think T. Higgins scores in that drive.
May have scored a touchdown. Look,
it's just tough. It's tough.
I'm not going against you on that. It's similar to the Josh Jacobs that I had last week with early exit, and they don't challenge the touchdown and stuff. Like, yeah, I mean, it's been tough. There's a lot of people on here that you can't give them fault for choosing those players too. So, yeah, I just don't know what else to say at this point.
You know what? I'm not even going to say anything. It's fine. I'm not going to say anything. I just need to lock back in. That's basically what I'm saying. I need to lock back in, and I need to just go with old reliable. Jameer Gibbs.
I think so too. I think so too.
He told me last week, Ty, pick me. Stop bullshitting and pick me. All right? That's what he did. So I'm putting Jameer Gibbs back. He's going to score again this week. They're playing on Thanksgiving. You know he's going to score. Lions on Thanksgiving. And
Josh
I think
Jacobs too on Thanksgiving. We're gonna us two are cashing early.
Yeah. And it's actually crazy because the Packers are favorited on the road going in to the Big D into the Motors. Exactly. It's crazy. So I think the Lions after last week's performance are like, you know what? Nah. We've been perennial trash on Thanksgiving. We're finally a good team on Thanksgiving. We're going to show the pack what we got. And I think that started with Jameer Gibbs.
Game? Is that the first game?
I think that's the 1:00 game. Yeah, I could be wrong, but I think that's 1:00. I think it's that. I think it's Chiefs Cowboys at 4:15, 4:30ish, and then it's the Bengals Ravens.
Look, I got you, Zach. I like that pick too.
Jamar Chase with the burr back. Yeah, both are coming off. Yeah, Spitgate first of all, and Joe Burrow coming back. I think there's gonna be some chemistry there, trying to get right against the Ravens, who have a sus defense right now. With all the injury, I think Kyle Hamilton got hurt last week. That's a big loss in that secondary for the Ravens, if that is the case. And if that is the case, I think Jamar Chase gets loose. Any other parlays in the chat from any of our league members in our group chat? Anybody? Jalen Brunson has 31 points. RP Jalen Brunson has 31 points.
Look, Ty, so here's how we're going to do it. We got a lot of games tomorrow, and I'm kind of putting this together last minute. If people don't send in their picks, I'm going to pick for them.
Ooh, y'all heard him.
So what we're going to do, and we'll maybe go through the next segment really, really fast, but let's do this live together with everyone on the stream.
Let's do it.
Let's make it fun. Let's pick 4 people. We'll put non-grayed out names. So if people change it, then so be it. I can come in and change it if people send in their picks later. But let's pick people from people's teams.
Let's do it.
Or it doesn't even.
Also, Zach, so tonight's an NBA Cup game, and the NBA Cup Finals is actually before Christmas, so you're wrong. All right, George Pickens for Eric. Got to do it.
Yep.
Will, if I was in Will's shoes, who's on Will's team?
CD, Rasheed Rice, Javante Williams.
I think Rasheed Rice goes in on Thanksgiving. I think it happens. That's just me.
Is he playing on Thanksgiving too?
He is playing. They're playing at the 4 o'clock game. They're playing the Cowboys, America's team. So honestly, it could be America's team. I think they're playing in Jerry World. I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't know. I think they're playing in Jerry World. I think.
Okay.
That's just me. They are. Thank you, Zach.
They are.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that.
Camden.
Yep.
Let's go down. That's hard.
Yeah, it's tough. Let's tough. Yeah,
let's go down to Gamdong. I mean, what do we like on his roster for week 13?
I think we go again with the Thanksgiving. I think Derrick Henry gets in the end zone tomorrow night.
You think?
I think so.
Who is he? Who are they playing?
They're playing the Bengals. Not a good defense.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Divisional rival. I think they would have pounded in.
Back to back? I like that.
I think so. I think Derrick cooks a little bit here toward the end of the season with Lamar.
Cincy D's terrible, good call. All right, I like that, Zach. Need that confirmation. Shree, JT, or Bijan. You can't go away from them. I think we just go solid everyone around the board. And if it's not one of those great receivers, I think we go running backs.
I agree.
JT.
Let's do JT.
There's no way.
Let's do JT. He had a bad.
Who did they play this week?
They play.
Oh, I was hoping we could pick for Paul.
Who do the Colts play? Who do they? I knew they play someone. They play the Bears, I think. Am I wrong? Am I lying? Zach, keep me honest. Keep me honest. Are they playing the Houston? Oh, they're playing Houston?
Ooh.
Oh, that might be tough. I'm not gonna lie, that might be tough.
Who are the Falcons playing? I can look.
I think the Falcons are playing New Orleans or Jacksonville. I think it's one of those two because I have Falcons defense. And I remember not dropping them.
I don't mind playing him either, to be honest.
That's fine. Outdoor for ATL, yeah, they're not gonna be in that dome. The Jets, oh, they're playing the Jets. I think I kind of prefer Bijan. If I'm gonna be honest, I prefer Bijan.
Let's go Bijan.
Because the Ravens just played the Jets and Mr. Henry scored a touchdown last week. I think run it. I think I run Bijan on that one. I'm not gonna lie.
Let's do that.
Who are we voting for, Jacob?
I think it's got to be a Puka week.
I think it's a Puka week too.
Who are they playing?
The Rams. It doesn't matter. I think Matthew Stafford's playing like an MVP quarterback right now, and that offense is clicking. I think you just go Puka. I think it's
don't
the
overthink
Panthers.
it.
Yikes.
Yeah.
No, the Panthers have a good defense. I'm not gonna lie, but I still go with Puka. I think Puka still gets in.
They get separations on those receivers, and Puka plays in the slot a little bit, doesn't he?
No? Honestly, Sean McVay. I don't know what he has them. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. He got Devontae out there at X, at Z, at slot. He got Puka out there.
Adam's a tough one. He's got a lot of good options.
I think you go JSN until he proven otherwise.
Minnesota,
yeah. Minnesota, and also no JJ McCarthy. So the Seahawks will have the ball a lot.
Okay.
A lot. Appreciate Zach, great minds think alike, man.
All right, we got Callum left, and we can pick from anybody, to be honest, but it would be a lot harder to pick from his team.
It would be.
Adam's saying Etienne.
I'm saying Etienne. Okay, Adam. Then in that case, do we want to take? We want to put.
Yeah. Let's put JSN for Callum.
Yeah, please. Yeah, please. Let's do that. Good call.
All right. If anybody changes it up.
Checks in the group chat. You have until what's the latest time because the game starts at 1. They have until noon. Is that good?
No, I said if you don't submit tonight, it's
tonight.
It's
Y'all got midnight.
So that way Eric doesn't have to worry about it.
Paul said Egbuka. Okay.
Yeah, we got him.
All right. Cool. Y'all have until midnight. Midnight or earlier than that. Lock in. Send it ASAP, Rocky. Fun. The commissioner will send it in the group chat, and if you don't tell us, rest in peace. We going with what we put. All right. let's get on to it's week 13, Corey. It's week 13. I feel like we started this league yesterday, bro, but it's already week 13. We only got 2 more weeks of regular season football left. Can you believe it?
Dude, I mean, it's crazy. Now, I feel a lot safer after last week, especially when we get into who I'm playing this week, and we'll get there.
No,
I
let's
guess
get into it. Let's get into it, Corey.
But there's a ton of implications. Again, I'm gonna pull up the actual standings as well as we
Same.
talk through these games,
I'll
just
do
to
that
kind
too.
of be able to talk through kind of where we're looking.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is gonna be one of the biggest weeks. I know we keep saying that, and I've been saying that probably since my solo episode, probably 7 weeks ago. But things have really gotten real dicey in the league. Like I said, there's a lot of teams that are really, really close to each other.
Only 2 games separate 6th place and 11th place. Sorry,
That's
only one
crazy,
game.
man.
Only one game separates 6th place and 11th place. Only one
Fourth.
game.
Fourth would be 2 games.
Yeah, fourth would be 2
So-
games. It is gonna be down to the wire.
And
Legit.
that's why I said, like, I mean, we're getting to the points in times to where, like, if they didn't have that locked up, those top 3 seeds, it's crazy. I mean, I'm still in the hot seat. If I didn't have Panda Express this week, I would feel a lot more in jeopardy. I think I'd probably lock up my spot if I win this week. I'm not a statistician, but I think that kind of.
I think if you win, you're in, Corey. From my understanding, I
Yeah.
think if you win, you're in. From my math knowledge, Callum is saying to take Debo from my team over JSN. Yo, can we Corey? Can we have like an overrule or something? I know this is democracy. I can't do it. I can't do it. JSN is the most sure thing of all time. And if Debo doesn't score a touchdown, and he's the reason why we lose his parlay, if JSN doesn't score, I'll take that one. All right, I will fund the bet next week if that's the case. But if Debo,
Let's just ignore the text and see what happens.
Okay, fine.
I'll send Eric the screenshot tomorrow morning with JSN in there, and we'll see if he changes it, and we'll put all the blame on Eric.
Okay.
How about that?
Okay. But let's just lock that in.
It's tough for me to say, like, what am I don't know what to say.
But we really don't know. Callum could be
Yeah.
onto something. Maybe he did a little more research on what the game plan is for Debo going into this game. But
With Marcus Mariota, though, no way.
yeah, I don't know, Chief.
Much rather take JSN, but who knows? Yeah, a lot coming forward from this week. Let's get into the games.
Let's do it. I just want to pull up the playoff picture right here. If it were to end today, the bye week goes to Zach. Corey, you would be playing Shreesian in the 4-5 spot. Eric would be playing Adam in that 3-6 spot, and Camden would be playing Danny in that 2-7 spot. With the consolation ladder, I would be playing Will at the top of the ladder. Callum would get the bye week, so he'd automatically be in the game to determine if he'd be in the Sacco Bowl or not. And with Paul playing my Pookie Nakua. Let's go on to the games, Corey. Let's start with your matchup, Corey, because I think, since we are talking about Callum and his thoughts on this matchup, or his matchup on his bet, let's talk about the matchup you guys have. You're coming off a big win last week, and Callum is reeling. Again, he hasn't won since week 1. I don't think he scored over 100 points since week 1. I could be wrong, but I don't know. That's just what I think right now. His team is not. You're gonna win this game, Corey. I don't even have to say anything. I know you can't vote for yourself, but I think it's if Vegas had these odds, it would be like minus 1,000 Corey's winning this game.
Dude, and I don't even know if he's gonna end up taking Emmanuel Wilson out before tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I got Josh Jacobs back, dog. He's definitely playing. So, yeah, I mean, there's not much I need to in order to save time and to maybe get us out of here somewhat on time. We don't have to talk much about this game.
I got you.
I'm favored by 30 points. Yeah. Back to the betting. I didn't know that the Skins were playing, or my bad, the Commies are playing the Broncos. Hell no.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, what are we talking about? Come on.
When George Kittle got back, my team leveled up. So now I just need to worry about that flex position. I love Wandale. as my wide receiver one on
Mm-hmm.
my team. He gets a lot of targets. He's the best wide receiver on that roster by far.
Agreed.
So yeah, let's move on to the next one. This one's going to be a round. I'm going to get locked into the playoffs, and I'm going to be so happy. I will not be partaking in the loser punishment. So
That is good for you, Corey.
geared up. I mean, my team is not the best in points for, but like I said, I think I am one of those consistent teams. So maybe that helps me out in the playoffs.
They play up to what they have to for that week, and this is another one of those week. This is another matchup where these teams need their players to play up to snuff. Will playing Jacob, both 5-7. Loser doesn't make the playoffs.
Oh
Loser does not.
Eliminated.
Yeah, it's a win. You have to win and survive in advance. All right, Jimmy V, survive in advance. We do know Will has a tough team. Jacob was able to get Devin Neal off waivers, I think, and we skipped. I did look at waivers. We did skip waiver wire Wednesday segment, but there wasn't a whole lot of activity.
There wasn't. I checked this morning.
Exactly, not a lot of activity. But the only activity really was Devin Neal going to Jacob. That could swing things, knowing with the running back situation in New Orleans. That being said, though, I just think there's too much Thanksgiving firepower for Will. Like, I think we'll know the outcome of this game tomorrow. Jared Goff playing, Javonte Williams and CD playing, Rashee Rice playing, Travis Kelce playing, Chase Brown playing. Like, we're gonna know. We're gonna know this matchup
playing except for the bottom three. So
I think a lot of turducken may be eaten by Will's team. I honestly would prefer if Will did not win just because he has more points than Jacob and I have more points than just the math for my selfish reasons, but it's hard to see Will losing this matchup. I'm not going to lie to you. Jacob has been a good team like the last few weeks, but I think head to head with a Thanksgiving tomorrow, Will got this, bro.
I want to say Will too, but Jacob, I don't think he had Dak playing. Maybe he had the Dak playing last week. I think that's that's a good QB play. I think I like his players playing Carolina.
He has Puka playing Carolina.
I mean, there's good matchups on both sides of the ball, especially with Troy Franklin against Washington. So it's going to be tough, to be honest. This one's going to be really close, and it's funny that they're probably the two closest of like friends in the chat from the league. So, it's kind of coming down to see who's going to be in the losers consolation. I think the winner of this game is probably going to get a playoff spot. We'll see what happens in the other games, but this one's going to decide a lot. So, I don't even know how I can call this one, Ty, to be honest with you. I think I'm going to go with the hot hand and I'm going to go Jacob.
Jacob,
you going Will?
We're going to split ticket right now. Split ticket, and Will, and now we'll think you may have the right choice because Will is overseas right now. He may not be all the way locked in with his team.
That's what I'm saying, man.
He might not be but I still believe that their talent is there. Zach, I got you. Rest in peace, John Madden, the legend, the GOAT. Let's go on to another matchup I actually like a lot. It's very intriguing. This is another big one right here. Eric versus Shreejan. Shreejan, who's been reeling, still fourth place, 7-5. But if Shreejan loses these next 2 weeks, he can find himself out the playoffs. Real talk.
I know.
Real talk. He can find himself out the playoffs. So and I know Eric wants this one bad because again, I don't think if Eric loses, he's out right now. But it's gonna be tough after this. Like we'll have to see. We'll have to see. So Eric needs this one to solidify himself. Shreejan needs this one. I think, in my opinion, this was
destiny game. This is the control your destiny game. Whoever wins this one actually controls their destiny. I know I said that about the last one, but this one, whoever wins can win that last game and get in, no problems. So
this is tougher for me to. I think this is tougher to call than the last game, in my opinion.
I think against Pittsburgh, though, not the easiest opponent. It's crazy he's position ranked 1. I guess it's from those big touchdown games.
But Shreejan, I don't know. His quarterback and receivers, dog. Like,
his receivers have been awful all season, bro.
I mean, if he doesn't he has to put. I mean, I don't think he's checked yet, and I hope he checks before tomorrow. I mean, I'm assuming if he checks, Ladidi will be in. Marvin Harrison, we don't know if he's playing or not. It's just gonna be tough. And Baker, he's questionable right now, but what does that mean for him in the game? Joseph
I've
starting.
had early fraud watch on Shree for a little bit.
Talk about it.
It's just like, okay, the running backs are good, but he's not getting that solid step up. Like his team is very similar to my team, except even better at the running back position than my team. So he's had like the points from the running backs. He hasn't had any injury problems with the running backs. But the receivers, the quarterback, the tight end have not been there all season. You got to get solid moves from the defense, get lucky with the kicker then if that's going to be the case, if you don't have that wide receiver. And I think we got some question marks about his commitment. I've seen commitment strongly certain weeks, but maybe not the other weeks. And it's going to boil down to one of those small wins. Again, going back to Eric lost to me from that Malik Neighbors week 2 or week 3.
Week 3.
All he needed was one more catch or something like that. And for a whole half, he didn't get a single catch or a yard. And it's going to boil down to something like that in this league. That's how tight it's been. So imagine if we only had 6 playoffs teams, bro.
Oh my God. It would not be as dramatic. Like, this is what we live for.
Like, I'm so glad we did that. This one's going to be another tight one. I got my money on Eric. I didn't like him last week. I'm back on the train this week. I think Alec Pierce may get one of those bombs. Maybe.
It's tough.
I don't like Tyrone Tracy either. I know he had a big week last week.
I don't like it either. I'm not gonna lie.
But I think Singletary's getting more carries.
He's getting more goal line touches for sure.
There's at some point they're going to stop focusing as much on CD Lamb and they're just going to focus on George Pickens. So you may see a vice versa here. So that is going to be tight. Eric's team is not on paper better than Shree's team.
No, not at all.
So this one's tough to call. But yeah, it's vibes. Look at the players on the injured reserve, and that's been the key. If you got somebody on the Giants roster,
good things happen.
Yeah, your team wins.
If you got the young guns on your team, good things happen. And he has both of them. The vibes have been high. He may start Parker Washington. I think I go Eric too, because Parker Washington had a great game last week. I know we talked crazy about that trade, but it might end up paying dividends for him to squeak into the playoffs. Ricky Pearsall might be getting back into form.
For the drama.
I think I go with Eric here, bro. I think I went with Eric here.
That would put Shree and Eric on level playing fields as far as record. I would take 4th by myself if I beat Callum. And then, that leaves a lot more open door for you probably, as well as Jacob and Will and stuff like that. So it gets tight, man. It's crazy.
Oh, my gosh. Let's go with the next one. Let's go into my matchup against Zach. This is for my season. This is my Super Bowl right now, okay? This is my Super Bowl. I'm hoping Jackson Dart will clear concussion protocol. The game is on Monday. We'll know this game. We'll know on Monday who's winning this game. All right. Action Jackson Dart coming off of concussion protocol. We're getting Waddle back in the game. Odunze has to do something. I have faith Jameer will do something. I have faith Brees will do something against Atlanta. I have faith in tricky Trey McBride. And I even put Kenneth Gainwell there for right now. We'll see if it holds up. But if not him, I might put Darnold. I have faith in my players. The one player I do not have faith in right now is Rome Odunze. And if he does not, it's going to be Black Friday, okay? Black Friday on Prime. Come on, Rome. Bring home Alexa. Bring me home some Alexa W's.
Friday.
Ooh. Yeah, Friday, the Black Friday game, man. But it's one of those things again. Zach has a Jamar Chase playing tomorrow with Joey Burrow on Thanksgiving with the Truckin'. He has Stephon Diggs against the porous Giants secondary. He has Drake May against that same porous Giants secondary. Yeah. He has James Cook. He has Travion Henderson against the Giants' poor run defense.
Zay Flowers against Cincinnati. I mean, he's got some matchup this week. This is going to be a tough one, Ty. This is the toughest test of the season.
It is.
We'll see if he maybe throws Bucky in the lineup. I mean, his bench is so solid as well. no idea how they thought that you won that trade. It's crazy.
That's what
He's
I
got a
saw.
solid bench. Um, yeah, this is a battle. Everything on paper says um, Zach is going to win this game, unfortunately,
It
Ty.
does. It does. Not always.
You know me, I'm not the Jimmies and the Joes, or the X's and the O's. I'm the Jimmies and the
Let's
Joes.
go.
And I'm a passionate picker. This week, you mark my words, the train keeps rolling, and the three darts get a dub.
Let's go, baby.
I think it's going to be a big upset. I think it's going to knock Zach down a little bit off his pedestal. I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing for his team. I think it might maybe kind of hype him up and give him that last little loss, kind of humbling moment before he goes on a championship run. But something I can't not pick Ty here. I got to keep the train rolling. I'm going Ty. Definitely a passionate play, like I said, on paper. Probably looks like it's one of the better weeks for Zach's matchup. So, and I don't know if yours is necessarily the best either, which makes it a little bit tougher. But you
It is.
but you
It's
got
not,
some
yeah.
some spots here. I mean, Buffalo defense has been horrible, so I like Gainwell. Again, I'm a little bit biased off the last two performances there, and I like your defensive play. So
Right.
we'll see what happens. I think it's gonna be close, but
gonna
I'm
be
betting
super
on
close.
Ty.
Zach says he'll send Jamar to spit on you. Look, we don't like
Oh
that
no.
negativity, and that's why, Zach, you got to lock in. All right, you got to lock in. Let's go into the de facto, non de facto. Again, this is another one of those 425 games, but a battle of two teams that are fighting for the bye week spot. So let's say in a hypothetical situation, Zach does lose to me next week. This
Yeah.
happens. The winner of this game might get the number one seed, depending on how scoring happens. Adam might be number one.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Talk to me.
I don't know if you remember what I said earlier in the show. The final week of the season, Adam plays Callum. Zach plays Danny. So if Zach loses that game to you, odds are probably Adam has the best chance to get the one seed. Yes, it goes down to point score if there's not some wins and stuff. But yeah, this is gonna be, it could be vice versa. If Danny wins this week against Adam, this is a great matchup. To be honest with you, like you said, this is our 425 America's Game of the Week. This is who's the second seed. Second and third in the power rankings, second and third in the ESPN standings. So I can't wait to see this one unfold.
This is gonna be crazy.
Matchups look off paper look a lot better for Adam, in my opinion. Danny does have Sutton against Washington, but everything else, I mean, it looks Danny's team is on the decline. He's lost 2 out of the last 3 games. I like Adam here from the get-go.
The receivers,
just because,
oh my gosh, bro.
And Lamar's against Cincinnati, so you like to think that he has a good game.
Thanksgiving.
To be honest with you, I feel really confident that he scores a rushing touchdown more than anybody this week. That may sound crazy, but it just hasn't happened all season. So I think it's one of those where might be one of those bets of the seasons where I hit up my bookies back in North Carolina and say, hey, I need you to throw 100 on Lamar getting a rushing touchdown. But yeah, this is going to be another tight one. I don't know. What do you think, Ty? What do you like here?
I like what Zach said in the chat. It's a question of RBs or wide receivers are more important. And Danny has the running backs and Adam has the wide receivers. So who's going to be more important this week? We've seen Achan and CMC go crazy. And last week we saw Amon-Ra and JSN go crazy. It's just tough. I think when it comes down to it's going to come down to those players that aren't the stars. It's going to come down to a Jaden Higgins or a Josh Downs. They're going to need to make some crucial plays. It's going to come down to the tight ends, like you said, if Dallas Goedert scores or not, or T.J. Hawkinson, depending on who his quarterback is this week, because J.J. McCarthy is concussed. It's going to come down to the defenses. It might even come down to the kickers. It's one of those. I think the ballers ball, but those role players need to do their jobs. And if I had to bet on some role players, again, for my hope, I gotta hope the Patriots don't do well. And if it's gonna be one of those things, I gotta go at him.
I'm going Adam too. I think Danny gets generous projections every week, to be honest with you. And I get it, right? I mean, I know CMC and Chain have had best years out of anybody other than maybe JSN. But yeah, I mean, maybe not this week, but I guess Jalen Hurts has been crazy too. I mean, he's just been racking up points somehow each week. So it's been interesting. I definitely have my money on Adam too. I think that despite the projections, I think he has the better team, more solid all around. I think he's gotten pretty lucky with his running back room at the beginning of the season. I think it was like RJ Harvey and someone else that he was starting.
Yeah.
Maybe it was Etienne. So it's just been crazy with how consistent Etienne and Warren have been. So solid players there, and definitely still some question marks with Drake London injured. But my money's on Adam.
I would pick Adam too. Danny does have a rebuttal. He says haters gonna hate. Look, Danny, it's nothing personal. Legit, nothing personal. I just, for my sanctity, I need the Patriots to do bad. I need this to be a negative point. I need this to be negative points. Legit. If I want to make, if I have to hope the Patriots are terrible, okay, against the Giants. So that's just me, and that's just me. But yeah, those are our games. Those are our Week 13 games of the week. Once again, Corey, we're in Week 13, and it's just, for me, it's just hard to even imagine.
Wait, we forgot one.
You did? Who did we forget?
Himmy Horns versus
Oh,
CD.
my bad.
We don't need to talk too much about this one because another team that
yeah, I mean, I kind of glossed over Paul. My bad. Just like he glossed over his team, I kind of glossed over Paul. That's on me. That's on me.
Theoretically being a walk in the park for Camden. I mean, matchups alone too definitely favor him. CD's there's not a weaker team in the league right now. I think if you put him up against Callum, it could be close, to be honest.
I might pick Callum on that one. I'm not gonna lie. I might pick Callum.
Yeah, it's just crazy on paper. This guy's got Patty Mahomes and Justin Jefferson and still losing. And he's got Brian Thomas and Chuba on the bench. It's insane that team has been as bad as they've been at the end of the season and kind of wrapping things up. I don't think.
Why is Cairo Santos on your bench? Just drop him. Like, I don't understand. Like, it's the GM moves. It's the organizational. It's the like. We see it in the NFL. You can have great players on the team if the organization's riding at the top. They're not going to do well. They're not going to do well.
Yeah, and I just think Camden's got a solid QB and he's got running backs, and so he's got one of those teams that it's built a little bit. It's built a little bit off of consistency.
Yeah.
Right. And
you don't want to see Camden's team in the playoffs. You don't.
No, not at all. I think he may be able to make a deep run. I will be interested to see who the matchups are once we get into the playoff schedule and all, because I haven't gotten into that much yet. But yeah, I got money's on Camden. I don't think we need to spend too much. We can wrap this up. We're already over time anyways.
Let's do it. Don't. Oh my God, I hate Zach. I'm not gonna put what he said, but Zach, we have to appease to some of our audience members, okay? You can look what he said, but so stupid. He's so dumb. Look.
Oh my God.
That's the thing, Zach. If you feel that way, look at Danny's team name and then come back to us. Okay. Anyways, that concludes our Week 13 slate of games. Again, huge week of games. Probably the biggest week so far. This season has been crazy. Thanksgiving again, and a great thank you for joining us on. If you've joined us at all throughout the stream, if you just poked your head in, you popped in a little bit to see the fantasy football Sicker Piece of crew. I appreciate you. A lot to happen, or you have a lot of things to choose to watch going into Thanksgiving, and you chose to spend it with us. So we appreciate y'all. Appreciate the league mates who joined in. While Corey may dip out, we will keep the stream going. We got some Marvel Rivals coming up afterwards, so if you want to stick around for that, we'll be playing that. But the main thing is, keep watch for tomorrow's games. You saw the slate of games. A lot of implications tomorrow. if you're one of the league members, make sure you check your lineups before tomorrow. Make sure you send if you have it. Like, big week, fellas. That's all I got to say.
Creeping up, man. It's creeping up, and it is that time of the year that with those Thanksgiving games, one stupid mistake could cost you your playoff spot. So like you said, check your lineups, especially the boys in here. As much as we give each other banter, the boys that are in here and that join on a week-to-week basis are the ride or dies, and hopefully you guys get a little bit of benefit out of maybe joining and hearing all the stuff that's going on in the league. I know I do, so
I for sure
appreciate you boys being here all the time. And yeah, thankful for this week, Ty. I hope the Rivals stream goes well. I'll probably tune in a little bit after I hop off, but thankful for everyone this week. Thankful for the league. Thankful for what it's been this week. And yeah, don't forget to watch football tomorrow. It's creeped up on us. It's going to be a great Thanksgiving day of football. I know I'll be glued in front of the TV. So hit me up. We'll talk a little bit later, Ty. Hope everything goes well with the Rival streams. You're the best, boys.
Appreciate y'all. All right, y'all. Thank you for tuning in this week. We'll see you next Wednesday. Happy Thanksgiving, y'all. Appreciate you, Corey. Take it easy, man. Happy Thanksgiving.
All right, peace, Ty. Have fun. Enjoy this Rival stream.
Appreciate you, dog. Will do. All right, y'all. Switch to modes. Whoa. So. All right, y'all. We got Rivals gameplay. Whoa. We got Rivals gameplay. Ooh. I want to set up my green screen, but it's not gonna be worth it. Has to be. It's close. Let's move our camera a little bit. A little bit down. All right. So we got Rivals. We're gonna see. Actually, we're gonna do a quick intermission, real quick, while we load up this game for y'all. Let's see who's in the Discord right now, and we will hop on this game. Oh, these boys are in Discord. All right, y'all. I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick, get some water, and I'll join Discord, and we will play some Marvel Rivals. So, quick BRB. Let's see. All right, y'all. BRB. All right, y'all. For stream purposes, we're actually going to end stream and restart it, just so I can get the Sticker Pizza Crew that episode as its own separate stream, its own separate episode on YouTube.